Started, I guess, by turning on the microphone. You're participating in panel 3, the rural panel. We are City of Ottawa quasi-judicial tribunal that holds public hearings to consider Planning Act applications, including minor variances to the zoning requirements and consent to several land. Our hearings are now in person at Ben Franklin Place, 101 Centerpoint Drive. We also enable remote participation by video conferencing for our registered speakers. We are live streaming on YouTube, and the video will be archived and available for future by public. My name is Terry Otto. I'll be chairing today's hearings, and you can address me by my name or as chair. And with me are my fellow panel members, Martin Vervoort, Jocelyn Chandler, Beth Henderson, I believe, is online, and of course, Mr. Gary Duncan to my right. Listed on the agenda and appearing on the screen from time to time are the applications we'll hear today. For the sake of efficiency, I may deal with the agenda items in a different order. Panel members have reviewed the planning reports and any written submissions in support or in opposition to each of the applications. Today, we'll hear any oral submissions relating to the applications. As part of the statutory notification requirements, each applicant was requested to post a sign on the property in question before the hearing. They also had to confirm in writing that they did so, or they'll need to swear or affirm an oath today that they fulfilled the sign posting requirements. Otherwise, we may have to adjourn or postpone the hearing. The panel may ask for a brief presentation of an application, followed by questions for the applicant and city planning staff. We will then hear from members of the public who have registered to speak, and we may also have questions for them. Finally, the applicant who has the burden of proof will have an opportunity to make final comments in reply. Please address your comments to me as the chair, starting with your name and spelling if necessary. All presentations are limited to 5 minutes. Any exceptions will be at my discretion. At the end of the hearing, the panel may either make an oral decision or we may reserve our decision, which means it won't be delivered today. In either case, and within 10 days, the Committee of Adjustment will send the official written decision and reasons for it to all the parties, participants, and anyone else who has requested a copy. Does anyone have any questions about the procedure we'll be following today? Seeing and hearing none. All right, then. We have several applications here today, but first we need to deal with some preliminary procedural matters. Are there any declarations of interest? Seeing none. Thank you. We have no minutes to confirm. There are no adjournments or withdrawal requests. Are there any other questions about the procedure before we start today? All right, then. We have no unopposed opposition submissions, so we will start with item number 1, 2450D 6th Line Road.
Mr. Chair, the agent is online.
Thank you. Would you go ahead, please?
Oh, hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well, thank you. And your name, please?
Evan Coburn.
Thank you, Evan. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So do I just need to list, my apologies. I've done this before, but I was just kind of sitting in and listening to the verdict.
Okay, you can make a presentation if you so wish. If not,
I think everything has been provided thoroughly in the application. Essentially, we're just seeking the variance for initially for the setbacks to the high water mark. And then there was the hearing was adjourned and we had to provide a secondary variance in regards to no frontage on a public street, which we provided information in the new application about that.
Very good. Thank you very much. Then I'll ask planning if they have any final comments.
No concerns, and I'm happy to answer questions.
Thank you very much. Panels, do you have any questions in regards to this application? Can we call for approval? Your application is acceptable and passed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
The next item on the agenda is item number 2. 1883 Stittsville Main Street.
That was quick.
Morning.
Good morning.
So if the committee wishes, we do have a slide presentation. If you'd like us to go through a slides.
Could you identify yourself first, please?
Oh, sorry. So my name is Arjun Soor from Novatech. And I'm joined by my colleague Greg Winters and the property owners, Lena Ramirez and Olivia Hughes, who represent the property owners.
Thank you very much. If you wish to make a presentation, yes, please go ahead.
Right. So as I said, I'm Arjun Soor, and I'll be presenting our minor variance application for 1883 Stittsville, Maine. If we can go to the next slide. So the property is located in Stittsville in Ward 6. Next slide. So the property is currently vacant. It has 26.9 meters of frontage on Parade Drive, 81.3 meters of frontage on Campolina Way, and 90.7 meters of frontage on Falabella Street in an area of 1.05 hectares. Next slide, please. So the property is designated neighborhood in the suburban transect and is zoned R4Z. Next slide, please. So this slide shows the survey plan on the left and the site plan on the right. And the site plan shows a proposed development for 84 stacked townhouse dwellings. A 3-meter setback is provided from all lot lines. And through the site plan control process, it was identified that there's a 30-centimeter reserve, which is highlighted on the survey plan on the left. And that's located between the westerly lot line and Stittsville Main Street. And so consequently, as I alluded to before, the subject site doesn't have any frontage on Stittsville Main Street. And so the westerly lot line would thus be considered an interior lot line instead of a corner lot line. Next slide, please. So the slide in front of you shows the requested variance. The requested variance is to permit a reduced interior side yard setback of 3 meters, whereas a minimum of 1.5 meters is required for the first 21 meters and 6 meters is required for the remainder. Next slide, please. So now I'll run through the 4 tests. So the first test is that the general intent and purpose of the OP is maintained. So the site's designated neighborhood. The development is where the requested variances facilitates development of a planned unit development, and the reduced interior side yard setback supports low-rise development and ground-oriented housing forms. Second test is the intent and purpose of the zoning bylaws maintained. So the site is zoned R4Z. The R4Z zone, as I mentioned, requires a minimum interior side yard setback of 1.5 meters for the first 21 meters and then 6 meters after that. So the westerly interior side yard setback was originally provided as a fully compliant corner side yard setback of 3 meters. But once it was indicated that there's a 30-centimeter reserve that applies, the interior side yard setback provisions were triggered. And so the side yard there has the appearance and function of a corner side yard, and the setback, I think, is appropriate and is compatible with the existing land use patterns and corner side yard setback patterns on the site. And so the variance maintains the general intent and purpose of the zoning. The third test is whether the variance is suitable and desirable for the use of land. And so the proposed setback results in buildings that address Stittsville Main Street and contributes to a more urban streetscape design and allows the parking areas to be better internalized on the site. And so the variance is considered desirable for the use of land. And finally, if we could just go to the next slide. So the slide in front of you just shows the proposed setback in red and the requested setback in blue. So the proposed setback provides a consistent 3-meter setback from Stittsville Main Street and aligns with what would be required for a corner side yard. It's worth noting that, again, if the 30-centimeter reserve wasn't there, then we wouldn't be here today because no relief would be required. And as the image sort of shows, there's no lot that abuts the westerly interior lot line of the subject site. And so there's no impact on any adjacent buildings or use as a result of that setback. It's only triggered by the presence of the reserve. And so the variance is considered minor in nature. And
Thank you.
Yeah.
You want to wrap up, please, or?
Well, this next slide is just to say that, we think that the variance meets the 4 tests under 45(1) of the Planning Act, and that it represents good land use planning.
Thank you very much. Planning, comments?
No further comments from planning staff. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. I believe we have a couple of people that wish to speak to this.
I believe one speaker is online, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Um, so I'm not really familiar with all of the logistics of, the planning and the variance. I'm really just as a resident concerned about the other items that come into play with this building that's going in there because
Excuse me, could you identify yourself, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Cynthia and I'm a homeowner in the area, Mr. Chair, sorry.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
And I live on Parade Drive, right at the beginning. And so I have a concern about where all of the cars are coming in, where they're parking. There's no parking in the area as it is. And I don't feel that all that parking for that amount of homes, there'll be overflow onto the streets. And these are all things that concern me if, this is allowed to go ahead. If the project is too large to meet a variance, then maybe the project is too large. There's no bus transportation in that area. As we know, OC Transpo's cut back. So all these homes, it's not like they'll be taking buses. They are going to have a car or two per unit. And that's really not enough spots if they have visitors coming. Where are all these people going to park? And then in the winter, where are they going to put the snow removal if there's no use on the side to be putting these things? So these are all kind of concerns for a lot of, I think, of us in the neighborhood as to what's going to happen in that perspective, because they're just trying to fit too many homes in for their financial benefit, as opposed to just, single dwellings or even townhomes. And, the entrance and exit to the area already is tight for that neighborhood. Those are I've submitted all my stuff in writing as well. But I thank you for listening to us today in regards to this.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else online wishing to make comments on this?
Not that we're aware, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Chandler, you have a question?
I have 2 questions and they may be helpful to the local residents who provided comments as well to planning. Is this development going through a site plan control process?
Yes, it is a current active site plan control application.
Okay, and is that site plan control application sort of just pending the completion of this?
So from what I understand, it's currently on hold pending another submissions, but it is active right now. So they are able, I guess, to reach out and if they've got comments on the site plan control process.
Okay, my second question is, Do you know what the 30 centimeter reserve was put in place for? Was it simply to prevent access onto, like, driveway access onto Stittsville Main?
I would imagine that's the reason why, because Stittsville Main is identified as a arterial road, so that it has a very large protected road widening, and I guess just like with this kind of pie shape that's kind of left of the remaining residential subdivision, I imagine the intent was probably to restrict having that many driveways. I guess if you kind of look at the opposite side of Stittsville, Maine, there's another group of residential dwellings. And if you notice, they kind of have that internal circuit of a road, but nobody has driveways on Stittsville, Maine. So I imagine that's why the intent of the 30 centimeter reserve.
So understanding that this application is simply a matter of how the site frontage is considered to be oriented, because the intent is to have no driveways or access onto Stittsville Main. And the fact that this does go through a site plan control application, meaning that interested parties who want to comment on parking or sort of anything else in terms of the design of the site should contact the City of Ottawa Planning Department and comment through the site plan control process. That's outside of what we can deal with in front of this hearing. So hopefully that's helpful to you, but I don't have any particular concerns with
Okay,
the variance being requested.
thank you. Anybody else on the panel with questions? Okay. Yeah. So we'll reserve this.
Mr. Chair, could we just do a call out to see if anyone else is here to speak to this application?
Okay, is there anyone else present or online that wishes to speak to this application? Please come up. Push the, yeah, there you go.
Good morning, everyone. I apologize for being tardy. I just left from my federal government job. I was late, but I just wanted to ensure that I believe it's the site control plan of the city is as to where we who are residents there need to discuss the entrance, because the majority of us who've just spoken, I'm at 103 Falabella dead center, and none of us as neighbors would like we can't stop the project, but none of us would like the entrance to be on Falabella, as the majority of our children, like a good dozen of us, all play there, especially now where there's track and field. We use that street to run up and down and, speak to each other. But if my understanding was correct, that there's an issue with having the entrance to this new facility or building. There's an issue of it being Stittsville, Maine, as opposed to Falabella. Is that what I came in and heard?
I believe you're right, yes. And
Okay.
could you identify yourself, please?
My name is Mark Gordon. I'm at 103 Falabella, representing my wife. I know, I believe some emails have been sent, but it's that important for me to want to leave and take time off to come here and not protest, but seriously have that entrance reconsidered. It's already challenging enough during the winter seasons, where we know that when snow removal piles up and piles get there, and obviously it shrinks the streets in order for people to park or for people like myself to even get out of our driveways, but much to have an actual building there would almost introduce this to be an issue, not just during the winter season, but all year round. So for many different reasons, I think some of those were outlined in some of the emails that may have been received. I don't want to go through that. I'm hoping that the builder will consider that. But if we cannot stop the process, at least hopefully we can find some type of congruence of please not using the Falabella Street as a means of entrance or even additional parking, but to really consider utilizing Stittsville, Maine as the on-ramp or entry. I don't want to take up much more of your time, but this is what we're seriously really discontented by the potential option of our children not being able to continue to use it. It's bad enough we're going to lose the trees. Many of us love not having front neighbors, but even beyond that, but especially the children are really our priority, especially in that neighborhood of, whatever resources we can continue to have, even something as seamless as a street not being changed would be much appreciated. And I hope the builder will seriously reconsider that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gordon. Just, you have representative of the builder sitting beside you. Possibly you could have a chat with him after and express your concerns to him, and he could express some of the things that you as a part of the community need to know, I think. And
If I could just jump in, so through you, Mr. Chair, we've heard and understood that a lot of these comments, as Member Chandler alluded to, relate to the site plan process and not in fact the variance that's before us today. That said, it's my understanding that the property owner will be hosting a public meeting. I believe that's tomorrow. And so I don't know if you've been made aware of that, but it's a meeting with the counselor. And so if you'd like, we can send you details about that. I'll note that there's no statutory requirement for this, but this is something that the property owner has done, I think, in order to hear the community's concerns. So we'd be happy to send you details about that meeting tomorrow. And that will be the opportunity where we can hear the community's comments on the site plan control application. Thanks.
thank you very much. And is that sufficient, sir?
Thank you for this offer to the council and to the builder. No, I was not aware of a public meeting. I'm going to have to, I had plans, but this is serious enough where I will try to make an arrangement. And if you can grab my email and phone number if necessary and send me that information so I could pass it along to my fellow neighbors, it would be appreciated. Please don't take into any, we don't have any issue. We understand that there's a housing issue in the city. People need to have homes. People need to have opportunities. Absolutely. Again, we're just looking for some type of mutual consensus. Build big, as the Prime Minister and premiers are doing and the city's doing as well. But, if we can find some type of meeting in the middle in terms of how you're going to build or the entrance, we want to welcome you into the community. But if we can reserve certain areas so that we can sustain, the great communion that we have, that would be great. So yeah, that email, I would really appreciate it, and I would be more than happy to pass it along to some of my fellow neighbors.
Thank you very much. Anybody else wanting to make comments? If not, we're going to reserve this till the end of the day. Thank you very much for your participation.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is item number 3. 1937 Stagecoach Road.
Good morning, Chair, members of committee. Paul Robinson here on behalf of the owners.
Good morning.
So the application before you is for severances and minor variance applications to create 2 new lots on this rural property. And we also need 2 minor variances. One is that impacts the southerly of the 2 proposed new lots, and that is for reduced setback, reduced MDS setback to a building to the south. You do have a letter of from that property owner indicating that property, the barn on it is not used for agricultural reasons. The owner lives on the property and uses that barn for their contracting business. The other variance is related to the frontage of the retained parcel. We require 60 meters of frontage. The frontage is broken into 2 segments, and we have to take the narrowest of those two, which is not 60 meters. In total, in cumulative frontage, we meet the frontage requirements, but on an individual segment of frontage, we do not have enough frontage. So that's the reason behind that variance. Really, what I wanted to speak to the committee today about is one of the conditions, and it is condition number, well, it's 5 and 6 together. They're interrelated. 5 is that we need to prepare a mineral resource impact assessment. That was flagged when we had the initial consultation. I sent the initial documents to the city planner and they indicated that an MRIA would be required. It was prepared. It was ready a few weeks before the total package was ready. I offered to send it then. They suggested I send it to them once the full application was submitted. That was about four weeks ago or so, and I was assured it would be reviewed in time. We got the comments yesterday morning. There's a few issues that need to be still worked out between our client's MRIA consultant and the city reviewer. But then it leads to condition 6 about a noise control study. This property is on an arterial road. Typically on rural arterial roads, a noise warning clause or a notice on title for noise levels is what is typically the situation. What we'd like to do is have some revised wording introduced. And I did send that to the committee this morning, that we would have, instead of basically wording saying that upon the acceptance of the MRIA study, that we could, instead of having a noise study, we could have a noise warning clause registered on title. I believe the issue was the potential for truck traffic from quarries to be going past this property. And when you look at the road pattern and the location of the quarries and their entrances, it doesn't really make sense for trucks from the pit or quarry nearby to be going past this property. Most of them front onto Old Prescott Highway, and they generally go up Old Prescott Highway to, I think, Stagecoach and then Bank Street, or they would go southwesterly along Old Prescott Highway and go south on Stagecoach, south of our property, but not many trucks would be passing our client's front lot line through their normal course of traffic flow. So we don't believe there's going to be much in the way of any increased traffic from this. I have provided proposed new wording. It's just basically saying that upon acceptance of the MRIA report, that instead of a noise study, that we have a noise warning clause or a notice on title forewarning any future residents that there could be noise levels. The closest area within the resource designation is actually a pit that is all exhausted. That's the one that's, I think, to the southeast, and then further to the east is a operation, but they access through Old Prescott Highway, and we've provided the separation distances from the actual licensed areas to the edge of where any homes would be. So we believe that we've met the requirements. I'm here to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson. Planning?
Yes, good morning, Mr. Chair. I'm just calling in online, and apologies, my camera's not working this morning. We don't have any concerns, I think, with the proposed wording that Mr. Robinson has put forward. No concerns with the variances. We still have to review the MRIA to confirm that it meets all of our other requirements, but I think the wording that's been put forward today should be able to address concerns moving forward.
Thank you very much. So just to be clear, Mr. Robinson, you said you're opposed to 5 and 6, but the MRI really has already gone in. So you're not really opposed to 5?
That is correct. The comment came in, condition 5 is written as if we hadn't filed an MRIA. We filed it over a month ago. And at the time of the writing of Mr. Teef's report, we didn't have any response on it. We got his proposed conditions, I think, came on Thursday, and we got the comments yesterday. So 5 and 6 they're interconnected, but it's really 6 that we're requesting some wording modification, and I put the proposed revised wording is shown on the email I sent this morning, and it's in red text near the bottom of the first page of the email.
Yes, we have that. Thank you very much. So is there any members of the public that have anything to say in regards to this application? Seeing or hearing nobody else, I guess we will reserve this till yes, go ahead.
Sorry, just for clarification, the proposed wording covers both the noise warning clause or study, and it covers concurrence regarding the mineral resource impact assessment. So I just want to make sure that everybody's clear that we're combining then the 2 conditions, 5 and 6, and replacing them with the proposed wording. Is that?
No, I think there's no staying.
This says upon filing concurrence of the mineral resource impact assessment.
But I think we can just do 5 because it says to the satisfaction.
Okay, so the alternative, which member for Ward is saying, is that we leave 5 in because it says to the satisfaction of the city.
That's fine.
I just want to make sure that there's, okay. As long as we're clear. Thank you.
Martin?
Yeah, I think planning has indicated that they're fine with the revised wording, and I think Mr. Robinson has indicated that it's fine to leave 5 in. His concern was that it seemed like they never received it, even though we'd filed it a month ago. So I think we should leave it in, subject to the satisfaction of the city, and the city is fine with the revised wording on condition 6.
Okay, right, thank you. All right, we'll reserve this at the end of the day. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Robinson. That brings us to item number 4, 108 Inniskillin Drive.
Hello, it's
Good
Jesse
morning.
Brook here. Hello, good morning, Chair. I'm the owner of the property. I live in Carp Village, just around the corner. That property there, myself and my wife bought to help our daughter get into the housing market, and she's living there with her young family. To help offset the costs, we're looking to sever that property. We've got another daughter. We're not too sure if she's going to want to live there and build, but that was our intention, was to help our daughter get into the housing market.
Thank you. Do you wish to add anything else to that, sir, or?
No, I've looked at all the conditions and I have no objections to those. I've met all the zoning requirements as far as the build or minimum setbacks and minimum requirements. So, and I don't see anybody having any objections from the city. So I just thought I'd add my, the reason for the severance.
Thank you very much for your briefness and planning. Do you have any comments, please?
No comments on our end.
Thank you very much. I believe there's a neighbor wishes to speak to this application. Would you please come forward, sir?
Yes, my name's Ken McKenzie. My wife and I live at 105 Craigley Drive, which is next to this lot that's to be severed.
Good morning.
Good morning. We've been there for 38 plus years. There's been a few changes in the neighborhood, but this will be the largest that we've been have to deal with. The street is a relatively short street. It's dead end. This will add a little more traffic to it, but I guess that's to be expected. Based on my research, that the zoning bylaw V1M, this area, there's a couple of different zones in CARP itself. I'm not sure why. They are fairly restrictive, and the lot sizes that are left of the people who haven't already severed are getting very small. You're starting to have to manipulate the lot to make things fit. In this case, the zoning, as I understand it, is a 21-meter width minimum, or is it 20? Oh, sorry, 20. I'm not sure if it has to be the entire lot or it just needs to be the frontage or say the back of the lot. In this case, in the middle of the lot, it's down to 19 based on the Ottawa Geo sketch that was provided. Also, it seems that if it's a corner lot, you're able to change what someone who walks by a house might think is the front yard versus a side yard. So then that changes all the other distances which you might need to meet a variance, or not a variance, but a severance. In this case, I always thought the backyard was the one that was beside me, but it's, I believe, being changed to the side yard due to the house on 108 Inniskillin. And that's available. So the only other thing I might note is that I have blueprints and our abutting property lines on the sketch is incorrect as a measurement. It should be 44.20 meters, not what's on the sketch. And this abutting property line also has an easement in it as well. The other measurements, they're just drawn off the Ottawa Geo map. So at this point, I guess it's quite a preliminary measurement. Thank you for your time. That's all I have to say.
Thank you very much, sir, for your input. Comments?
Yeah, my comment would be that the property has sufficient minimum size or based on the zoning that is existing there, the 1M, and a survey, which is one of the conditions, will prove that.
Thank you, Martin.
Yeah. As for the street, there's sufficient space for one extra family house there. Thank you.
Thank you. Panel members, Martin Mavord, you have a.
I just had a question for planning because we got a comment this morning. There was an additional requested condition regarding limited distance drawings, and I just wondered if planning could comment or clarify that.
Apologies, Member Vervoort. Could you provide a little bit more detail on that?
It's just noted in our comment summary this morning. So is there any concern with limiting distance regarding, I guess, the new house that's to be constructed with respect to building code or anything?
As far as I've seen, we don't seem to have any. Oh, apologies. So for the existing house, there's no issues in terms of the limiting distance that we've been able to identify. So no concerns there.
Thank you.
Any other panel members? Go ahead. Staff, I was wondering, could you tell us where that limited distance drawings came from?
Mr. Chair, it's in the revised planning report that we received, and I believe that it refers to the new property line in relation to the existing dwelling.
Okay.
Is there an updated report then? Because I have the May 29th report and it's got 7 conditions, so I'm just a bit confused. Was there a report subsequent to May 29th?
There was a report that we received on May 30th
Oh, okay.
that included the condition
Okay.
for limiting distance.
My apologies. I didn't see the updated report. I guess just one more question for the applicant. Are you agreeable to the proposed conditions from the city planning department?
What, I wasn't aware of, well, the 7 conditions, yeah, I agree with those. Is there another condition that you're mentioning?
Yes. Number 8.
Yes, there's an updated report. Maybe Mr. Teep can explain the additional condition.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't aware of that. I don't think anybody emailed me that either.
Yes. Oh, sorry, go ahead. I'm not going to jump in.
Yeah, sorry, if you could just clarify or explain condition number 8 for the applicant, please.
Yes, absolutely. So this was a report that was sent in on May the 30th. And there's an 8th condition at the bottom that the owner satisfies the chief building official by providing design drawings, other documents to show that the existing dwelling complies with the building code. So we just need to see drawings that show the distance of the existing structure to the new property lines after the severance.
Okay, yeah, that's no problem.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or concerns? Okay, we'll reserve this at the end of the day. And I believe that concludes our business for today. Thank you very much for your participation.
Can I ask one more question?
Who is this?
It's Jesse again,
Okay.
from the 108. Yeah, you had said you're going to reserve it to the end of the day. How do I find out the results of the decision? Is that by email or?
You'll get it, probably a copy by email, but it'll be in a written decision as well within
Okay.
10 days, I believe it is. Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That concludes our business, and we will now conclude the hearing. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.